Diggla. Of all Dox's accomplishments, there may have been none greater than overcoming depression. On the verge of his second suicide attempt, he found the path of Kundalini Yoga through an old friend who introduced him to the science of the self most of us have at least referred to as meditation. Not only did Dox survive his own demons, but used the same pain that used to suffocate him as fuel to become the divine version of himself we see before us today, and has become a beacon of light for those still in their own personal darkness, as well as a source of knowledge for how to escape that bondage. After studying and practicing presence and mindfulness intensely for coming up on 5 years since the days of suicidal thoughts, Dox is now giving the keys he's acquired in his journey of self-discovery and evolution to all those who request his services, as he is now the owner of MedEd, Meditation Education, through which he conducts one-on-one meditation sessions for those looking to learn the science in order to improve their lives in some way. Dox is also the official meditation mentor for Barringer High School in North Newark, as well as becoming so for Cleveland Street Elementary and a slew of other local schools, and even offers public sessions open to the community. In the peak of his career, he made the choice to become abstinent from any sexual activity, including masturbation, for an entire year, which led him to his wife to be and first child on the way, and he swears none of these blessings would have happened without meditation. Today he is here to share that science he claims is the cheat code to accessing the highest level of your personal potential and the best life you can fathom for you and yours. More Than Friends welcomes Dox Diggla.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Deb. Pleasure to see everybody and share energy with y'all today. On the surface, a lot of us here are strangers. I've never met, I've never seen each other before. But we have a lot of similarities as well. Today, everybody got dressed to look as nice as everybody looks right now. You do that every day, either for work or for play. But outside of these moments when we're so well put together, right? In our fancy clothes, eating fancy food and things of that nature, we've all hit that rock bottom that Dale started my introduction with. I don't know if everybody heard her. But I've learned via my rock bottom, and Ms. Griggs talked about this as well. I was somebody who also dealt with suicidal thoughts, was on my second suicide attempt when I discovered myself. And the fact that rock bottom is the foundation on which you're supposed to build the new version of yourself. To create the reality that you want, that causes the rock bottom because you feel powerless to attain what it is you want. Rock bottom is beautiful. Pain is beautiful. I don't even have to ask. I'm sure every person in here is as nice as y'all all look, as well put together as y'all all look. In your moment when nobody was there to see you, again, like Ms. Griggs talked about, you've hit your rock bottom. You've had that moment when you've been on the bathroom floor crying your eyes out, and there was nobody you could call that would have said anything to get you through that moment. The thing that had you powerless in that moment is you didn't have a direct connection. You didn't have a direct relationship with God to say, God, I need you right now. You didn't know how to do that. And I'm sure a lot of us either came from or going to church. We got our church clothes on and things of that nature, and that's beautiful. And the thing about yoga and meditation is it's not religious. You can be any religion, have any belief system. But it's about developing that relationship with God that we often talk about, that we often celebrate. But how many of us are really taking the moments day to day to actually talk to God, to actually talk to ourselves, to actually just be and understand how beautiful it is to exist without circumstance, without desire, without that fancy car, without that dream job, to just be a part of existence in this moment. How many of us do that day to day? I'm looking here at all of y'all right now, all the things in this room. You know what I see? I see God. I see beautiful reflections and projections of God. And that's the thing you start to realize after you hit that rock bottom. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you start to learn from it. You learn all those moments of pain that you asked to be removed when Jesus even asked, can I have this cup removed from me? I don't want to have to carry this cross. Jesus himself asked that. You start to realize the lessons that was in that pain. You start to realize the knowledge, the strength that was in that pain. And every one of us, like I said, has been at that rock bottom, but we still exist right now to be in this room. Every single person in here has survived something I probably can't imagine, and vice versa. And we still sitting here existing right now together in unison. How is that not God, right? So the practice and the science of yoga, and I'm gonna just dispel some misnomers before we even get into a few of these techniques that can help you with your next rock bottom moment. Like I said, it's not a religious thing. It's not going to lead you to demons or nothing like that, which a lot of people think. Somebody who grew up in the church, I heard all that, oh, that's the devil, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is it leads you to your darkness. And that can look like the devil sometimes, right? That can look demonic at times because every human being is light and dark. No human being can exist without those two poles. You need the dark to know what light is. You need the light to know what dark is. So it's not about evil or bad, right or wrong. It's about understanding the whole totality of the human being. And we're not here just to go to work, just to get money, just to get a fancy car and a nice house. That's cool. That's circumstantial. We are here to reconnect and establish a direct relationship with God. Now, everybody in this room, I'm sure, either has had, is aspiring to have a spouse. Like Dale mentioned, I went celibate, no nothing, for a year. In the peak of my power, so to speak, right? That means y'all know what I'm talking about. And that sacrifice not only led me to my God that's over here taping me right now, my first child on the way in her womb right now that I thought I wouldn't be able to manifest because I was entering a space that not many people can understand, let alone be able to be in unison with. But I learned that we long for a relationship outside of ourselves so much. And the reason a lot of us cannot establish that is because we haven't developed a relationship with self first and a relationship with God first. It's like a courtship, literally. If a man hollers at one of the women in here right now and he does everything right that first week, and that second week he kind of stopped calling, stop texting, don't show up at the job, you'll lose interest. But what happens when we stop doing so for ourselves? What happens when we stop taking those moments to go out at God? Not just when we want something, not when we just want him to save us. When everything is good, and we just say, you know what, yo, God, life is good right now. Like, thank you. Thank you. The car I'm driving right now, I have a car to get to work. Instead of complaining about my job, I have a means to pay my bills, to take care of my family. We wake up to the birds chirping every day, and we instantly go to that's God singing to you, saying, bless, rise, and get up. Go fulfill that purpose. We don't even pay attention to the infinite ways God shows us we're always in the womb of God every moment. And I know life has a tendency to just snatch us right out of that understanding, and that's when the stress comes. That's when the pain comes, right? So yoga is a system. It's a complete science. A lot of us probably consider yoga the postures. That's one rung. The rung I specialize in is meditation. And meditation is that vehicle of direct connection to God, to be able to decompress and to stay present. One of the biggest things you learn in this science is we're hardly ever here fully. And that's one of the reasons we're unfulfilled. We're here thinking about there. Y'all in here right now thinking about what you're gonna do later. I know y'all, because I used to do it too. And you know what's even funnier than that? You're gonna get there and be thinking about here. So when you realize that dichotomy and you exist in between, you go your whole life missing your whole life. You go your whole life missing your whole life. And this science, a few techniques that we're gonna get into, and I also teach meditation on the one-on-one level, also do public meditation, so y'all can holler at me after this if you would like to pursue. But we're gonna do some techniques right now that the next time you're in pain and stress, disconnected from source, disconnected from God, it will pull you right back. Okay, so before I even get into that, I just wanna let God speak. I don't know if anybody's ever worked with a singing bowl, but this simulates the first word, the first sound that God uttered to create existence as we know it, to create physical reality. The Big Bang was the sound Om. I'm sure anybody who's heard of meditation has maybe heard Om before. All right? Just tap into the sensations and the vibrations coming from the bowl. You may want to close your eyes. Even the AC heard that. By a show of hands, how many people felt that vibration? You can raise your hands. I know y'all all got deodorant on today. Quite a few people felt those. I'm sure everybody felt it. The vibrations you felt is what connects us all. Every human being, every piece of physical reality is part of what's called the oneness. Okay? For us to be existing in each other's space right now, we are connected on a level that a lot of times we aren't aware of. At the base of all physical reality is vibration. The first thing that started the universe was God speaking. That sound is Om, okay? So that's what that simulated. And if you felt that energy, think about the last time you was upset. I was working with a child, 11 years old today, his name was Messiah. And he kept laughing during our session. I'm thinking maybe he's weirded out by some of the techniques we're doing. And he was laughing and giddy because he said, no, I'm not weirded out. I could feel the energy, right? Think about the last time you was upset, about the attributes of that anger. You get hot. Feel those waves of energy come to surface, and it's abundance to the point you feel like you want to lash out, you want to fight somebody, you want to yell, you want to scream, you want to throw something. You do those things because that's pure energy that needs to be dispensed. And yoga, meditation is a higher level of dispensing that energy in a way that's going to bring about reality and desires that you want, instead of just putting you in a space where you leak out and bleed out that God force that you need to face a challenge, to create what it is that you want more effectively, and to always be in that womb, in that relationship state with God. Okay, so we're going to get into a few simple techniques. Everybody that's going to participate, you don't have to if you're not comfortable, but if you are, just give yourself a little space from the person next to you. You're not going to do too much movement, but you're just going to need your own personal space. I know it's tight. Just do the best you can. Do the best you can. Hey, I know it's cold. We're going to get some heat going on. We're going to warm up. Matter of fact, being it is cold, first technique, just generate some energy in your hands first. I want you to rub your hands in a circular motion. And while you're doing that, I want you to gently stomp your feet on the ground. Now, you may feel heat in between the hands, and that's an easy way to know that there is energy within the body that you always have access to, that you may not be aware of or use effectively. Now, I want you to reverse the direction of the hands while you continue to stomp the feet. Good job, everybody. And here marching, I know that's right. All right, I want you to abruptly stop. Abruptly stop. Lower your hands to your knees slowly. Close your eyes and lock into the sensations floating through the body. Lock into the sensations flowing from the feet into the legs. Lock into the sensations flowing through the palms. Okay, come back to. Who felt the sensations? Raise your hands. Okay, not even more hands that time. Let's do another technique. This is to stimulate the lymphatic system. The cardiovascular system we all know is extremely important. Without it, we all die. It has its own pump though, as the heart. The lymphatic system is just as important because it's what we need to filter toxins out of the body. It doesn't have its own pump. Its pump is physical exertion, and a lot of us don't work out like we should. But the cheat code, which I'm gonna show you right now, I want everybody to gently pound or massage your chest area. Not like that, not that kind of massage. Gently pound or massage the chest area. I want you to use one hand and go in a circular motion. And once again, closing your eyes is even better. If you don't want to, it's cool. Use the other hand, opposite direction, circular motion. I want you to come down to the rib cage, both hands. And do your best you can, but work your way around to the back of the rib cage. That's why I say get you some space. And then lastly, come up to the clavicle, the base of the neck, and work your way all the way around to behind the neck, and then come back to the front. And then abruptly stop again. Lower those hands nice and slow to the knees. Close your eyes. Tap into the sensations flowing through these areas. Through the chest. Through the rib cage. Through the clavicle. And feel your lymphatic system as it activates. Come to once again. Show of hands, how many people felt their lymphatic system maybe for the first time? Good job. Okay, this last technique that we're going to do physically before we go into the body. So we're going to leave this world for a second, okay? I'm just preparing everybody now. All right, so this last technique is called the crown pull. All I want you to do is gently pull apart the skin starting at your forehead and work your way. I know some of y'all got your hair done, so do the best you can. Work your way all the way to the back of the neck. So you're just gently pulling apart the skin, starting at the center of the forehead, coming all the way to the back of the neck. Do it 3 times. So my second time, come back to the forehead, pull apart, nice and gentle. Eyes closed is even better. And the last time, one more crown pull. Good job, all the way to the back of the neck. And once again, keep your eyes closed this time. Lower the hands to the knees. I want you to just tap into the sensations flowing through the skull, flowing from the center of the forehead to the spine. And I want to just cleanse the breath as we enter deep into the self. I want you to imagine your lungs are balloons. Most humans breathe shallow breath. This is also a big reason for disease, dis-ease, lack of ease, right? So we breathe shallowly. Your breath is the umbilical cord from the physical to the spirit world. Physically, you only have so much energy. The spirit is infinite, abundant energy. So the more breath you breathe in, the more God force you take into the system. So in this moment, we're going to go beyond shallow breath. Eyes remain closed. I want you to imagine your lungs are balloons that you're going to fill to capacity. You're going to pull in as much air as you can into the lungs, and I want you to be conscious of the process. Feel your chest expand as you breathe in. Feel the air fill the lungs. And when you exhale, I just simply want you to exhale as slow as you possibly can. So I'm going to count down from 3 and we're going to begin. 3, 2, 1. Fill the balloons. Exhale as slow as possible. Fill the balloons again. Exhale as slow as you can through the nostrils. And then one more of those. Get as much air in as you can. Don't cheat yourself. Fill the balloons. Exhale as slow as you can. Now on this next one, I want you to do the same process, but exhale out of the mouth. Keep your eyes closed. So you inhale through the nostrils, and as you inhale, I want you to push the stomach outward. And as you exhale through the mouth, I want you to suck the stomach back towards the spine. Okay? So count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Inhale in. Push the stomach out. And then exhale through the mouth. Pull the stomach back towards the spine. Do one more of those. Inhale in. Out the mouth. Good job. Now keep your awareness within the body, eyes closed. We're going to drift away from the physical. We're going to do what's called body awareness. And I'm going to call out layers of the body, and I want you to just simply give your awareness to that layer. Now your mind is going to send the kitchen sink at you to pull you back to the external world. Your mind is used to being in control. And in this moment, it knows it has to relinquish control. As thoughts come from the external world, just let them pass. Just choose not to engage them and stay with your breath. Okay? Stay with the layers of the body. So I want you to give your awareness to the surface of the skin. This is the largest organ of your body. I want you to consciously connect to every cell, all the blood, all the plasma, all the water, everything flowing through the surface of the skin, all that energy. Just give your awareness to the skin. As other thoughts come, what you're cooking later, what you're doing tomorrow, just let those pass. Let that train of thought just rush by. Just give your awareness to the skin. Consciously feel your skin. I want to go a layer deeper. I want you to give your awareness to the flesh within that skin, to the muscular system, your tendons, the muscles, the meat within the skin. I want you to just give your awareness there. Feel the infinite cells that create and manifest the flesh as we know it. Just connect to them right now. Let's go a layer even deeper. I want you to give your awareness to the vital organs of your body. I want you to consciously connect to and feel your heart as it pumps. I want you to find that natural rhythm of your heart that is unique to you. Connect to the lungs as they pull in air and let air out without even you thinking about it. The liver, the kidneys, the gallbladder and pancreas. Give your awareness to your vital organs. Let's go a layer even deeper. Give your awareness to the skeletal system. I want you to consciously feel every bone in your body in this moment. Skeletal system gives you the range of movement and the choice of stillness. Nothing would happen in the human experience without the skeletal system, and we never think it. We never connect to it. In this moment, this is your time to connect to the skeletal system. Every bone. And now drifting away from the physical body, I want you to give your awareness to the nervous system, the center of sensation. You wouldn't feel the vibration of my voice right now. You wouldn't feel the cold in this room right now without the nervous system. Just give your awareness to your ability to feel anything. And lastly, let's completely stray from the body and give our awareness to spirit, which is underneath all these layers all the time. Even after death, the spirit remains. The spirit is infinite, no beginning or end, all powerful. And while we're deep in the self, I want you to just take a moment and allow all those things that have caused you stress, that have caused you pain in your life, to come into the conscious field. And you may still be carrying those experiences as baggage. You may still have negative emotions towards those things. In this moment, I want you to recalibrate all of those experiences and understand that they taught you. They were experiences God knew you needed to take steps closer to Him, and closer to yourself and the version of yourself you've always wanted to manifest. That every single moment of pain was creating a better you. There was no reason to be upset, to hold grudges, to be depressed about anything that has ever happened to us, for all of it has sprung forth from our spirit, which springs forth from God. And in this moment, we're almost done. Be patient with yourself. I want you to use your inner voice, not out loud, while you're deep within the self. Letting the external thoughts just zoom by. I want you to program yourself, the new version of you, with a mantra of your choice. Mantras are spiritual and mental signposts we use to reprogram ourselves. So your mantra, once you have it, you're going to repeat it 3 times with your inner voice. It's going to start with I am. So just as an example today, mine will be I am abundantly and infinitely powerful. When you find yours, take a moment and say it within yourself. But don't just say it. Believe it. Allow it to resonate into every fiber of your being, every layer of yourself, every cell of your body. And let it become you. Just take a minute to do so. Ready, I want you to just gently wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Allow the consciousness to seep back up the layers into the body. Slowly open your eyes. For those whose eyes are closed. There you go. See, she on point. She's stretching. I was about to tell you, go ahead and stretch out. Let the energy leak into the nooks and crannies of the body. Stretch the legs, arms. There you go. Back to the earth. Nice, y'all did well. So, I'm pretty much done. Just whenever you are in a rough moment, remember your breath is your superpower. I enjoyed y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoy me. Continue to eat, brother.